People, deluded, I'm back again. Why did it feel like I just fell into my seat? That one there was mad. But people, I'm back again. Couple of talking points to speak about, and there's not much really in relation to Arsenal to sit here and speak about, so we might as well. The first I'd speak about, I actually want to mention, is Mustafi. Now, I'm not going to lie to you lot, people. I don't believe in Mustafi. I don't believe we can move forward with Mustafi long term, and I'm sure most of you lot believe that as well. And I say this to you. Yes, we'll get onto it, and I'll get onto praising Mustafi, but this is me without emotion. This ain't me with, I don't believe in Mustafi. This ain't my praise for Mustafi either, which I've given him in vids. This is me looking at it. Remove form and look at the people in this side. Next season, 38 games, without bringing in another centre-half. Do you have full confidence if it was to be Mustafi and David Luiz? Big up David Luiz because he's been good as well, but he's irrelevant. Do you have full confidence that that centre-half pairing is going to keep enough clean sheets, together with the improvement that we have to make collectively? They're able to remain concentrated over 38 games, over a 38-game period, let alone when it gets to the crunch time beyond the December and things and cup competition. If you do, fair enough. If you don't, you see what I'm saying? So Mustafi is contracted until 2021. Listen, he might get a new deal. I think it's very unlikely. At 27, he's turning a new leaf of sorts at Arsenal, but it's probably too late. Either way, get on to praising him. What I like about him, he's repaying the manager's faith. He's playing well. You never like to see a man shot down on confidence and scared you're going to make mistakes and stuff. It's not healthy, in which Mustafi has been playing with that. He deserves the right to play football with a smile of his face and have confidence. Arsenal fans have backed him. He's repaid the backing. Even when he made that mistake against Chelsea, he recovered. And he deserves his spot in the team. So this is probably, I won't say it's his best period as an Arsenal player, because there was a time we went many games without losing with Mustafi in the team. I remember PSG, home and away, he played well. Mustafi hasn't been terrible his whole Arsenal career. He goes through good forms and bad forms. So it's nice that he's writing a new story for himself and whatnot, people. Because at 27, contracted until 2021, was very much allowed to leave in January when Emre was here, if I can remember rightly. Was it last January or was it the summer? He's turned it around. I would say it's too early to say he's turned a new leaf and things, but you never know, people. I'd still want a centre half. I believe in David Luiz. Like I like David Luiz. He's convinced me since he signed here. I still think Luiz is Luiz. But in an ideal world, I would like two other centre halves. But it isn't going to be that sort of thing. But I have to say, big up Mustafi for turning his life around of sorts at Arsenal and fighting back from the demons and having good games. I feel Mustafi is Mustafi, and at points he'll always show you he's Mustafi. You look at the two games which have really meant anything. Chelsea, where he recovered, but the mistake was made. Liverpool, he made a mistake. Whenever it matters, Mustafi will show you he makes mistakes. But I think he's played well. He's definitely given Arteta something to think about. Maybe there might be a new contract. Maybe he's written anew. Maybe he is going to become that centre-half we thought initially at Valencia. And more power to him. Because what I like the most is not actually that he's playing well. Is mentally he looks better, man. It's not nice to see a man scared that they're going to make mistakes. No, they're going to get blasted. You know, it's never been nice. And we've been down this road with Mustafi, man. But big up Mustafi for playing well so far. And hopefully it continues. In relation to David Luiz, he said in relation to Mustafi, I'm happy for him because he's a great player, a great guy. He's improving every single day. David Luiz also had some positive words on Unai Emery. He said, the things didn't work very well, especially the results, and it's normal to try find some answers with his vision. I think he has his vision, and we have to accept it in a nice way and in a humble way. I think he did have some other comments praising Luiz for his time with him and whatnot, people. Moving away from that though, and what I've seen early this morning, Sports Blind are reporting, you have to take of it with a pinch of salt. Apparently we are chasing Bayern Leverkusen centre-half Jonathan Tah. We've been linked with him for years. We've been linked with him before. Apparently he's got a €40 million release clause. Some other reports I've come across have said it's 33 million. So I cannot be sure. For me, I think he's one of them players like Upamecano in which people say, yeah, just bring him, and he's a baller. I'd like both of them. But he's not perfect. He does get caught flat-footed a bit. He does switch off from set pieces a bit. But I like him. I want to bring him. He's young. He can only improve. With Arteta's greater emphasis on improving us defensively and more structure, we could have him. Obviously, if you had him and Saliba, two centre-halves with their best years in front of them, Leno, who's not the oldest, Tierney, if fit, who's not the oldest, Bellerin, who's going to be 25 max, or even Saka at left-back. You've got youth there. Youth with the energy to help with the rebuild. Obviously, there's resale value and things. I like him. He's good on the ball. He's fairly composed. His positioning is good. He's decent at marking. He's not, like I said, man, 40 million euros is not the most expensive of outlays, and he's only going to get better and improve. So why not go for him? We've been linked with someone like Koulibaly, who's going to cost a pretty penny. We can't afford that. Upamecano is someone that of a similar level to Jonathan Tah. You're hearing anything from 40 million to 60 million, and his contract's up in 2021. Could we save a few bob with Tah and then use the little extra bob to go that bit harder for a central midfielder or an attacking midfielder or whatever Arteta wants to do? I don't know. I'd all be for Jonathan Tah, to be fair. I don't know the legitimacy of them reports. I don't even know his contract length. And like I said, we're always linked with him, so we have to actually take that one there with a pinch of salt, people, really and truly. But I'm all for it. Jonathan Carragher, Jamie Carragher has said, there's been a lot of positivity around Mikel Arteta coming in and how things have changed. He hasn't actually changed the results that much. In fact, they've actually got worse in some ways. Please tell me, first and foremost, what Klopp improved straight away by this time with Arteta, because I'm sure your language was different. I don't have it to hand, but I'm pretty sure you was the first saying Emre's changed Arsenal. So what's changed? If you're trying to word that in a way to which I think you've been lost in, I think people are behaving that Arsenal have turned a corner and things, because Arteta's done some great things. I'm not going to list them all, but I think people are using that and thinking we're different, where don't just go... When you compare us to how he was prior to Arteta, of course we've improved. But if you compare our current Arsenal team, regardless of improvements, against any of the top 4 clubs or any other clubs, it is poor, it's woeful, it's not consistent, it's not good enough to get top 4. 100% agree with that. But to say he's not, we've got worse. What have we got worse in? What have we got worse in under Arteta? Defending? You can't say we got worse under him, because we're keeping better clean sheets. We're making more tactical fouls. Goal scoring, we're still relatively poor, and that's something Arteta has to improve. But the goal that Ozil scored, that was a record high in the Prem for either touches or people that have touched the ball. You look at the 17-18 pass move where against Palace, you go and look at the most sequences and passes to goals, and Arteta's time here is there versus Lundberg, who didn't have that long, and Emery. Already Pepe is playing a tiny bit better. Already Ceballos has played better than any minutes he got under Emery. Xhaka has turned a new leaf, a player you consistently got at, and you probably, like myself, raised question marks when Arteta said he's going to use him and stuff like that. Mustafi, again, I've spoken about Mustafi. Mustafi is Mustafi, but he looks a bit more confident, and it's still early days. Do you get it? Young Saka and these young G's are getting confidence and thinking it. So to say we've got worse, I want to know specifically what we've got worse in that we didn't already know. Because we know we're not good enough in terms of keeping clean sheets. We know we're not good enough in terms of winning games because we've drawn too many, whether that's game management, whether that's starting games, whether that's having to claw games back. Realistically, when Arsenal fans get beyond the fact that Arteta is back in his chat, he's given us something to be inspired by. He's giving us something to look forward. He's just giving us something to believe about. It's just nice to watch our club and know that a man is saying, I want to play this way, we're playing that way. Do you get it? Versus the mix and match Emery was coming with. So I don't know where he's going with these comments, people. I really don't know where Jamie Carragher's going with them. Maybe just saying that for a buzz. Can't imagine you need a buzz because your team, Liverpool, in fact, you're an Everton fan. Liverpool are winning our Champions League winners, are about to win the Prem. So why you got to make nonsense comments up like this? Again, if I haven't come across all your comments, then you're going to have to forgive me. But it is what it is in that regards, man. I'm going to keep it moving, man. I've got nothing more to add. So, Jamie Carragher, don't know what you're on about. Shout out to Mustafi for turning his career around. And obviously the Jonathan Tah links. And I can't not mention Mustafi and not mention Xhaka because you lot know me. Go and check my vids. I'm Xhaka FC. I'll back Xhaka. I love Xhaka. But there was a time I had to give up on him because the performances weren't there. And for me, you know, the whole drama with the fans and stuff, I wanted it nipped in the bud. But I think people have to concede. And again, it's early days. Everything I said about Mustafi applies to Xhaka. It's early days. Next season is what counts. But Xhaka earns plaudits. He's playing consistent. He's making the difference. And yeah, man, he's 9 times out of 10, he's one of the most performing players. We know statistically, regardless of what people say about Xhaka's passing range and stuff, he's almost at the heart of everything we do. But go and look at the statistical data, which I wish I had to hand, and you'll see how vital Xhaka is. Admittedly, I think Xhaka is a rotation option. I don't think he's a regular starter. But you can't not applaud him and what he's doing right now, people. So shout out to Xhaka and Mustafi, like I said. It just came to me, I had to praise Xhaka. You can't mention Mustafi and not mention Xhaka. But on that note, though, I've got nothing more to add, people. So I'm going to keep it moving. People, DG, it's always a pleasure speaking with you lot. We speak again soon. But for now, I'm out.